Anxiety and the labyrinth of the mind. Worry is one of the most talked about illnesses of the 21st century. But have you ever wondered why it is taking over the world in such a devastating way? We live in an era of constant pressure. Social media bombarding us with perfect lives, tight deadlines at work, the relentless pursuit of success and the fear of failure. All of this creates an emotional burden that many of us simply cannot bear. Anxiety is like a labyrinth. At first, it seems like just a passing worry. But as we progress, we find ourselves lost, suffocated, and with no way out. This problem, often invisible, affects both the mind and the body, bringing symptoms such as tachycardia, insomnia, headaches, and even panic attacks. And most alarmingly, many people suffer in silence without seeking help, thinking that it is normal to live like this. In this video, we will explore this very important topic and answer the questions that many people are afraid to ask. How does anxiety establish itself in our lives? What are the warning signs? How can we take care of our minds to avoid falling into this maze? And most importantly, how can we find the way out? Stay with me as we delve into the story of a woman who lived this battle intensely but found healing and peace. Her story may be the key you or someone you know needs to face this challenge. How anxiety settles into our lives. Anxiety doesn't come out of nowhere. It starts subtly, often camouflaged among the daily worries, responsibilities, and expectations we place on ourselves. It's like a seed that is planted in moments of stress and grows slowly, until one day we realize that it has taken over our mind. The triggers can vary. For some people, it's a traumatic event or a loss. For others, it's constant pressure at work, family conflicts, or even genetic and biological issues. The truth is that no one is completely immune. Anxiety is like an unwanted visitor who finds a door ajar, and if we don't close it, it enters and begins to dominate our thoughts, emotions, and even our body. It manifests itself in different ways. Some people are in a constant state of alert, feeling that something bad is going to happen, even for no apparent reason. Others isolate themselves, feeling exhausted or unable to face life. And then there are those who experience intense physical symptoms, such as a racing heart, excessive sweating, shaking, or difficulty breathing, the signs of an anxiety attack. Now, let me introduce you to the central figure in this story. Her name is Emily, an ordinary woman just like you and me. Emily has always been seen as strong and determined. She had a good job, friends, and a seemingly perfect life. But inside, she was waging a silent war. Anxiety began to manifest itself in her life after a series of difficult events. The loss of a loved one, pressure at work, and the constant feeling that she needed to do more, be more, achieve more. First, she thought it was just stress. It will pass, she told herself. But it didn't. One night, as she tried to sleep, Emily felt her chest tighten, her breathing quicken, and an inexplicable fear take hold of her. It was her first panic attack. It was at that moment that she realized something was wrong. But, like many people, Emily hesitated to seek help. She felt ashamed, as if she were weak for not being able to deal with her own feelings. Does this story sound familiar to you or someone you know? Emily was at the beginning of a journey that would change her life, for better or for worse. And the outcome depended on the choices she made from that moment on. When Emily began to realize that something was wrong, she had to face a major obstacle, admitting that she needed help. This is one of the hardest steps, because anxiety often makes us believe that we are weak or incapable, when, in fact, seeking help is one of the greatest acts of courage. Emily began her journey by taking care of the basics. She went to the doctor, who diagnosed her anxiety and suggested psychological counseling. At first, she felt fear and resistance. Opening her heart to talk about her fears seemed scary, but little by little, she realized that externalizing her emotions was like lifting a huge weight off her shoulders. One of the most transformative points for Emily was learning to slow down. She began practicing activities that promoted relaxation and well-being, such as breathing exercises, meditation, and walking outdoors. In addition, reconnecting with simple habits, such as sleeping well, eating healthily, and dedicating time to hobbies that brought her joy, began to transform her routine. Emily also discovered the importance of social support. Friends and family became a fundamental pillar in her recovery. Sharing what she was feeling and hearing words of encouragement helped her see that she wasn't alone. But what really started to change Emily's life was something deeper. Understanding that her identity wasn't in her achievements or the weight of other people's expectations, but in who she was as a person. Learning to say no to certain demands and yes to taking care of herself was liberating. And as you hear these words, you might be wondering, can this work for me too? The answer is yes. Anxiety can feel like a maze with no way out, but there are ways out of it. You are not alone and there is hope. Seeking professional help, taking care of your physical and mental health, and surrounding yourself with support are concrete steps toward healing. Remember that you deserve to live with ease, with peace. Just as Emily found her way out, you can find yours too. Even on the hardest days, choose to believe that there is a solution, because there is. Emily's victory and a message of hope for you. Emily continued her journey with dedication, facing one day at a time. It wasn't a quick or easy process, but each small achievement became a reason to keep going. She began to notice that moments of calm were becoming more frequent, that racing thoughts were giving way to clarity, and that the anxiety attacks that had been so intense before began to dissipate. One day, when Emily looked back, she realized how much she had grown. She was no longer the woman who lived under the weight of fear and pressure. Now, she was someone stronger, more aware of herself, and with tools to deal with the challenges that life brought. Anxiety no longer had control over her. Emily's story is a powerful reminder. There is a way out. Anxiety can feel like a prison, but you don't have to face it alone. There are paths, there are people ready to help, and there is hope. If you are facing this challenge today, I want you to know that you too can find your way out. Start with a small step. Talk to someone you trust, seek professional help, or simply allow yourself to recognize that you need to take care of yourself. You deserve a full, light, and happy life. And remember, you are not defined by your anxiety. Just as Emily discovered her strength and found peace, you can achieve this too. The journey may be long, but the result is worth every effort. Subscribe to the channel and activate the bell to receive more content that can transform your life. Leave a comment sharing your story. Together, we can create a community of support and encouragement. Remember, you are not alone. Anxiety can be overcome, and a lighter and more hopeful future awaits you. Glowing Star.